This is pretty weird. I feel this doesn't feel real making this, but it's important that I do this obviously, and I really don't want to. I didn't want to get up and give a speech and choke my way through it and not say what I wanted to say. So I figured I'd do what Alyssa was best at and be extra and record the eulogy or record my words in her closet. So I'm just gonna say a couple things about my sister because, as many of you know, we were very very close. She was, instead of a teary eyed eulogy where I stand up front, it's gonna be just a teary eyed video of me. But she was my best friend, and this is, I mean, as many of you also probably know, I love writing. So the other day I was simultaneously fortunate and unfortunate enough to write her obituary. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever done. I was able to, um, I was, I had to try to put Alyssa's 29 years into a couple paragraphs, and that was incredibly difficult. As many of you, or as you've probably seen from social media, Alyssa had a major impact on the world. She really, really, really did leave a mark on thousands and thousands of lives. So I'm just gonna tell a couple stories. I don't know if they're as funny to you guys as they are to me, but Alyssa was absolutely the strongest person I've ever known. I've said that tons and tons of times. Lots of other people have said that, but Alyssa went through two double lung transplants and countless surgeries, countless procedures, countless hospital stays. What she went through was just unbelievable compared to what I've gone through. And to show you a quick story on how weak-minded I am compared to my sister, at least when it comes to surgery, is I actually got sinus surgery in January of last year. And this was actually the sixth or seventh time I've gotten this surgery. And sinus surgery is a pretty easy procedure. It's kind of invasive. It's 4 hours. You're put under general anesthetic, and they go in and clean out the sinuses. Anyhow, in the days leading up to it, I spent some time at work, and I was reading some case studies. And I found a case study of a person in, I believe, Abu Dhabi or the United Arab Emirates or somewhere. It was not America, but someone who got the sinus surgery that I got, and some of the sinus fluid leaked into the person's brain, and they got bacterial meningitis. So I was doing a risk analysis of if I should get the surgery done or not, which is just hysterical because Alyssa's had that surgery procedure done she probably had it 30 times. And that was a minor procedure, especially considering the fact that she had two double lung transplants. And Alyssa she used to tell doctors she was ready for the surgery, and I'm sitting here debating on the use of it because I read a single case study of a single patient who had a single, freak accident happen. I think that's just a pretty big summary of how courageous Alyssa was and how brave she was. And we talked a lot about how, we didn't talk about it as much as I would have liked, but she never really had a choice, but she had a choice in her demeanor. And while I got to see, Alyssa at her most intimate, I've heard countless and just dozens and dozens of stories in the last couple of days of Alyssa reaching out to people and just leaving an imprint on people's lives. And she, there's a lot of things her and I didn't explicitly talk about chronic rejection or end stage CF. We talked a lot about CF itself and rejection, but never in transplants, we never discussed it, what it meant for the future, even though I think we knew this day was coming eventually as much as we both tried to ignore it. And she just, I heard a lot of stories about when she was reaching out to people when we knew that, we didn't know she was talking to or whatever, and she was reaching out to people when she was going through chronic rejection. It's just, I hate this feeling. Anyhow, she just really, she was a special person who really cared about others, and she held no bitterness. And that, I think, is what looking back, I admire most. To put things into perspective a little bit, when Alyssa got her first transplant, it was May of 2013, so she would have been 24 and a half years old. I turned 24 in a month, and my PFTs are pretty much over 90%. They've been over 90% for the last year. And back then when I was 19, 5 years felt like such a long time. 24 years old seems so old. Alyssa seems so much older than me, and now here I am at that age. I just can't imagine what was going through her head. And, a lot of, I know she confided in some people, but just, that was just really, really, brave and courageous is just the word that keeps coming back. But her resolve, she really was so tough and just fought till the very end. And at that point, she didn't owe us a fight. I just need you to give me 1 second, please. All right. Sorry, guys, I'm back. Alyssa would have killed me if I didn't change outfits in the middle of this thing. So, um, I just want to talk a little bit about her social media presence a little bit more. Her and I joked all the time, and Alyssa I used to be her primary photo taker. I used to always be the one that took her pictures, and she used to always be the one that took pictures of me because she just never judged and never cared that was something that meant something to me. And I used to care and used to be really annoying about that with her, but eventually I got better and was a little bit more sensitive to her. And on that point, I think there was a reason why Alyssa cared so much about photographs and, in fashion. I think she cared a lot about that because I think it meant a lot. I think clothes and photography and, social media meant a lot to her because it was something she could control. For, her entire life, she had CF and then transplant and then rejection to worry about. She never had total control of anything. So this was a way for her to manicure how she, presented herself online. And I can't tell you how many times. The picture that astounds me the most is the picture from Malibu when we were in LA a couple weeks ago. Alyssa felt miserable that entire trip. And she took that one picture, and that's the picture she uploaded and updated people on her health. It's unbelievable because Alyssa really wasn't feeling well. And, she didn't even have, at that point, she didn't know, but she didn't even end up having 3 more weeks after that. It goes to show you how good she was at pushing through the mental struggles and the physical pain to make sure that people only worried about her to the extent that they could in terms of knowing how sick she was. But she never wanted people to feel bad for her. She never wanted pity. At most, she wanted people to realize what she went through. That's kind of how I feel about CF2, I want people to take the time to appreciate health and appreciate their loved ones because, for our all of my family members and, friends' lives, we've had to worry about my health and Alyssa's health. My health, not so much, but Alyssa hated that. She didn't want people to worry about her, but she knew that was the hand she was dealt. And to really hammer home how strong Alyssa was, I never once heard her complain to me that she was mad that she had CF. She never once complained to me. She never made me feel bad that I got to go to college. She never made me feel bad that I got to have, I hate this word, but a normal life. Like she never made me feel bad for any of that. And that's one thing that meant more to me than anything else was that she made me feel she was so genuinely proud of me and happy for me for being so healthy. Even while she was going through so much. That to me is just I feel like I didn't tell her that enough. But I feel a tremendous comfort in knowing how deeply she impacted so many lives. She really, really, really changed so many lives, and I hope she knew that when she was here. On Instagram, like I always used to joke with her that I wanted her platform, and she has almost 3,000 followers, she has almost 3,000 followers on Instagram. Which, by the way, Lyss, like I don't think you're gonna need those followers anymore. Can I have them? Oh man, I feel bad making that joke, but I had to make it. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's something that everybody can learn from Alyssa is just how strong she was, obviously. But I think what Alyssa showed me most is how she used her unfortunate circumstances to spread a message of positivity, gratefulness, and really just to spread the message of, that we can take our circumstances, as unfortunate as they may be, and turn them into something good and to turn them into a platform to spread awareness or to show people that their health is such a fortunate thing or, just so many, um, just we can use our platform, whatever it may be, whether it's a chronic disease or, life experience, where we can use that platform to do good. And I mean, Alyssa did that, and I think that that shows today with or shows. I'm recording this on the day of visitation, but I think that it shows by her presence of social media, and I think that I'm really excited about the funeral. As horrible as it's going to be, or as hard it's going to be, I'm excited to see how many people come and the stories that we've never heard about Alyssa. I'm really looking forward to hearing that. So, in honor of Alyssa, I hope that you guys take the time to take stock of what's important, your friends, your family, your health, whatever it is, and to try, in honor of Alyssa, to live a life of value and to influence others in a positive way, and to, just appreciate what you have. I think Alyssa did, and I can't thank her enough for being my big sister. All right. Thank you guys.